Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Premier League show. Another mad weekend of Premier League. Well, some mad results that we'll get into. Well, Man City and Liverpool winning at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't get any madder than that, does it?
Yeah, true. Very true.
But obviously, the fight for those Champions League places and European places are hotting up now. That's the real focus now on the Premier League, I'd say. Man City, obviously we'll talk about their results against Leeds in a moment. But obviously Liverpool aren't going to win the league this season. That's clear. And one of the obviously the massive excuses they use for not winning the league is Virgil van Dijk, because a lot of them actually think he's the best centre-back in the Premier League of all time, which is mad because
he's very good.
He's a good player, but he was crap at Southampton. He turned in the odd display, didn't he?
I don't think he was crap, but he wasn't. People weren't talking about him as the best in the world when he played for Southampton.
People don't generally talk about anyone being the best in the world
till
he signed for a certain club. But that discussion has gone on a little bit. The lads over on Hold the L have been talking about that over on the Super 6 YouTube channel. So let's just hear a little bit of that conversation.
Can I just jump in with the Vidic thing? For me, is like what Vidic, once again, absolutely phenomenal. But for me, Vidic was, you're talking that his style was physical. He was an aggressive centre back. He was dominant. He was physical. A perfect complement towards for Rio Ferdinand. But for me, if I'm genuinely, and I'm not just trying to be old Man City fan here, but if I'm choosing someone who does the physicality thing better, but also is a natural leader who speaks 5 languages, also had a penchant for an incredible big moment with a goal.
Come on.
Be it Vincent Kompany's long range against Leicester, be it his headers against United, be his leadership. Vincent Kompany, for me, genuinely is a better footballer for one in terms of passing around and all that kind of stuff. And he's just as physical, just as aggressive, just more of a leader, naturally more of a leader, genuinely. So that's why I put someone like him and Terry, by the way, ahead of him. And in terms of forward ability, Vidic is fantastic, but I think the two others on the list there that I would say are more physical centre backs, Terry and Kompany, I think they're genuinely better players.
Well, obviously, his YouTube channel is called Esteemed Kompany. So you know he's going to be a little bit biased, but Vincent, he's got to be up there, Annie.
I love Vincent Kompany.
I think what a guy. Seen him strutting down Goodison Road a couple of years ago, and I'm gutted I never stopped and
But had a chat with him. He's brilliant, isn't he? What a brilliant footballer. Like Steve said, very intelligent man. 5 languages. I always thought he'd be a director of football. I thought he'd run a club. I know he's gone over to...
I think he will do once he fails at management.
Well, if he does fail, he might not fail. And he's at Anderlecht, isn't he? So, no, I don't know what he'll do from there. But as a defender, a Premier League defender for City, unbelievable signing for them. Yeah. Absolutely superb signing. His last season, he scored that Leicester goal, which basically was a huge thing for them to win the league, wasn't it? Because they looked like it was going somewhere else. It was slipping away, and he bangs one in from 25.
People talk about, as we mentioned there, the fact that Van Dijk missing this season for Liverpool, but City not having him last season for me was the reason they didn't win the league.
And losing Laporte.
Not replacing him with a leader, and they've bought the leader this season.
And Ruben Diaz,
and he's been the difference. He's why I think City have reclaimed the title. But losing Vinny Kompany and not having him replaced a couple of... I know Laporte was a massive injury. When you think back at that injury, how stupid it was. I think they were probably 5-0 up in the game. They were winning, and it was near the end or whatever. Stupid injury, and it cost them. But he was just huge centre-back. And will go down as one of the best. I don't know if he's the best, because obviously when you think of the players who played centre-back, the leaders, the Vidics of the world.
Well, Steve talked about Nemanja Vidic there, didn't he? He was a physical defender, wasn't he? He was a brilliant player. United had Vidic and they had Rio Ferdinand, two of the best centre-backs probably the Premier League scene. Rio Ferdinand was a fantastic defender. Brilliant, comfortable on the ball, was a winner, superb, Vidic, brilliant. United have had some great centre-back. Jaap Stam was brilliant, but he's only there for a couple of years.
Bruce and Pallister, if you're
old enough to remember those if you want to remember them, they were proper defenders.
The first 2 centre-backs. But no, there's been some brilliant... I mean, what I would say is, about all these players is, did anyone ever come up to a defender and say, you need to study videos on Phil Jagielka. Because I think that's the true mark. If other defenders are going to study a player, that's the true mark of who the best. And Phil, has any other centre-back done what Phil Jagielka did at the Cop? I don't think they have.
No, they probably haven't. No,
I don't think they have.
Still playing in the Premier League, of course, Phil Jagielka. Yeah, you know, when you've got David Moyes coming up and saying, ask yourself what would Jagielka do in this situation, then to Rio Ferdinand, who's won all sorts, then fair play. Then you know that you've got to think about what else you're doing in your career. But no, there's been some fabulous ones, haven't there? You know, John Terry.
Yeah, John Terry.
For everything else that he's done in his career, he's absolutely fantastic centre-back.
Leader.
For Chelsea, leader. Look great in the suit, you know, and then putting the kit on to pick a cup up. But no, overall, absolutely brilliant, wasn't he, as a centre-back for Chelsea? And he's one of the ones when you think of Premier League defenders, he automatically comes into the conversation for being brilliant. And Arsenal have had fantastic centre-backs in that time, haven't they? You know, so there's been loads. It's very difficult to go, oh, he's the best ever Premier League defender, because I don't know whether
Why should we have to? Why should we have to? Let's enjoy a few of them. Do you know what I mean?
I look at Virgil van Dijk and go, he's brilliant and he's one of the best centre-backs in the world. But I'm just not having he's the greatest centre-back ever in the Premier League. I'm sorry, I'm just not having it, because there's others who've done it year in, year out forever and won all sorts. Ferdinand and Vidic won everything. Everything. John Terry won everything. And with longevity, there all the time. You think a great sense. Sol Campbell was a brilliant, I'm not saying he's but as a defender, he was a fantastic defender in the Premier League era. So there's been loads, and I've probably missed some out just because we're talking off the top of our heads, but there's been brilliant defenders who've done it year in, year out at the top of the game. And, you know, for Van Dijk to be put in there, he can go in the conversation because he's a good defender, but he's not up there with the very best for doing it year in, year out, every single season, and picking up pots every year. He's been great since he went to Liverpool, and he's won Champions League and he's won the Premier League, so people should talk about him as a great defender because he is, but he's not the best ever. Not for me.
No chance. As I said, the likes of Terry, Kompany, Ferdinand, Vidic, they're probably my top four before I even think about anyone else. And don't get me wrong, the true mark.
Sonny Adams.
The true mark of a defender, of a great player, though, is how much you miss them when they're not there. So I suppose there is credence in the Van Dijk argument for Liverpool, but it's on them, isn't it?
It's what it means to your team, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. But if you want to watch more of that video, make sure to check it out. Hold the L over on the Super 6 YouTube channel if you want to watch more of that conversation.
Leave a comment.
With the lads. Leave a comment. Say we sent you. We'll jump in the comments as well and put our opinions in there as well.
Because Chris Padjack is on there talking about Van Dijk, I'm assuming so.
Just go over and just say, Chris, you are wrong.
You're very wrong.
You're very wrong.
The Premier League started on Friday night. Fulham had a great opportunity. Wolves with flip-flops on. Fulham at home. Great chance to give yourselves a huge leg up in the fight for survival.
Yeah.
And Adama Traore won it in the 92nd minute for Wolves. And Fulham now, you said last week you were starting to think they've had the hit and it's the dip now and they can't get over the line. And sadly for them, that looks to be the case.
Well, with Newcastle beating Burnley, I really do think, you know, I know, listen, it's not done, of course. It's not they've got, 7 more games. So it's not done. But it was a huge, for Newcastle with starting to get their injured players back now. Yeah. I think it was a huge weekend for that. And I think the bottom 3 we've got now is the bottom 3 we're going to have. Obviously West Brom Monday night got a 3-0 win against Southampton. I have Sheffield United because I'm on relegation, that's why. Beating Southampton 3-0, brilliant home performance after 8 goals in two games.
Big Sam.
For Big Sam.
Yeah.
Do you think that their momentum, Sheffield United currently on 14, West Brom 24, Fulham 26, Newcastle 32. Do you think
Burnley 33,
Brighton Hove Albion 33 as well. But do you think West Brom could. I know you just think momentum.
What I'll say about West Brom, with all of those other teams that you've just mentioned there, is they're the team that's scoring goals.
Yeah.
And normally, if you can get on a run of scoring goals, you can pull yourself out of it. We saw Brighton at close hand on Monday night, Everton, Brighton. And Brighton knock it down, play lovely football, and have got no end product whatsoever. And don't score goals. Burnley don't score goals. And, you know, losing a home game to Newcastle it's a shocking result for Burnley because it was an opportunity. No, but for them, they're right next to Newcastle, aren't they? No, I know they beat us. I'm saying, you've got Newcastle at home, we were right by you. You win that game, that's it. You can go, right, you're done. To get beat at home after taking the lead.
Let me just stop you there.
Go on.
West Brom's fixtures.
Yeah, go on.
Leicester away.
No points.
That's...
Actually, you just don't know, but go on. Yeah.
Villa away.
Yeah, okay.
Wolves at home.
Yeah, 3 points.
Arsenal away.
I can see them beating Arsenal.
Liverpool at home.
Okay, no points.
West Ham at home.
No points.
Leeds, last game of the season, away.
Yeah, I can see them beating Leeds.
Okay.
They just get...
You're just basically saying they're staying up.
No. It'll be close, though. Because what I'm saying to you is, the reason why you'd have to give them... You've got a slight hope of staying up, right? And there's two reasons for me why they've got a slight hope. Sam Allardyce, because he knows how to get these... You wouldn't put it past him, mate.
No.
Getting results at Arsenal.
But 8
teams
points,
like that. No, it's a big...
8 points.
It is a lot of points. Yeah, they're gone.
8 points is a lot, though,
No,
at this stage of the season, isn't it?
If
But really, it's not just 8 points. They've got to get that 8 points back and hope Newcastle don't... And I can see Newcastle still winning a couple of games, especially if they've got St. Maxim back. You know,
Callum Wilson's back as well.
Yeah, as well. So I think they're getting their players back at the right time. And I still think Newcastle could go and get a couple of wins. And if they get a couple of wins, then West Brom have to get 15 points. From, do you know what I mean?
It's very unlikely.
5 wins.
It's unlikely, but they've just beat Chelsea 5-2 and they followed it up with a 3-0 win against Southampton.
I just can't see them getting 5 wins from those games. I really can't.
No, but they've given themselves a glimmer of hope, haven't they? It's a small glimmer, but they've given them. And Fulham had had the chance. They pulled Newcastle right back. And because they played Newcastle last day, they'd give themselves a good opportunity to have that in their own hands. Now, of course, Fulham might put a run together and Newcastle might lose a few, but at the moment, you'd say that them three are probably the three that are gone, yeah.
Well, Saturday was all about really the European places, wasn't it? Manchester City played Leeds, early kick-off. Obviously, Man City in the middle of the 2
Champions
European
League
games, and we're recording this before the second leg.
Yeah.
So the bench was just unbelievable. The bench, which had Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Phil Foden, Eric Garcia on. That's just an incredible. The team wasn't too bad either. But Leeds took the lead, then had a player sent off. City equalised, and then you just thought, right, last 14 minutes, 15 minutes, City will dominate. And they did, but Leeds still had that counter-attack, and in the last minute, Stuart Dallas got his second of the game, and Leeds took away all 3 points to put them suddenly just within contention of the top 7, those European places. I mean, they finished the weekend in 10th place, but
they're a win off the European places,
there,
really, aren't they?
So, I mean, it's just a little... For Man City, they've got enough.
That's a blip.
Well, it's not even a blip, is it? They've got enough. They rotate. They know they're going to win the league, and then they want the Champions League. So he did what he had to do. It hasn't, they've ended up getting beat, but they're not going to.
They had 29 attempts at goal to 2.
Yeah, it was one.
Beat 2.
It was one of those games.
It was a smashing grab.
In
one
the
that you
3 o'clock kickoff, Liverpool played Villa. Villa took the lead. Ollie Watkins, Firmino had the goal disallowed, which was just
I
don't
know.
Salah got the equaliser, and in the last minute, Trent Alexander-Arnold put one in to let all his fanboys tell the world that he's amazing. Is he? I don't know. But it's a big win for Liverpool. Puts them back. It did put them in the top 4 at the time, I think. But a real big win for them. Obviously, their first home win since Tottenham, I think, on the 15th of December, something like that. It was. Yeah, so it was a huge, and to go behind and put it back as well. That was massive for them. Took them up to 52 points. Currently in 6th place, behind Chelsea and West Ham in the Champions League place. But just a huge win, because that's 3 games in a row Liverpool have won now, I think. 2 away wins and home win, which so that's a big thing for them going into this last stretch now, where I imagine they're going to be strong.
Yeah, they're on a bit of momentum, which is what you need at this time of the year. And Alexander-Arnold was a good goal. Why he left them with so much space to just knock it in. Villa had 2 good chances as well at the post, hadn't he? Trezeguet at the post when he probably should have done better. Liverpool were overall a better side though, and I've got the win, and you're right, the momentum keeps going. And they'll be confident now, I think, of chasing down Chelsea, definitely.
Well, Chelsea went to Crystal Palace and were 2-0 up in 10 minutes. Havertz, Pulisic, then Zuma made it 3-0 on 30th minute. Mateki got one back, and then Pulisic makes it 4-1. So they're not conceding too many. They are into the semi-finals of the Champions League. That we can say, because that happened last night. So this took them into 4th place for 24 hours or so. But they're obviously well in the mix. Them and West Ham. West Ham, they've got to play West Ham, I think, next week. Which will be a big game for them. It's FA Cup semi-final this week. But in the week after, they've got to go to West Ham, which will be a huge game. Could be the game that maybe decides. West Ham have got, by the way, a brilliant run of fixtures. Absolutely incredible. They play no one apart from Chelsea and Everton. I think that are in the top half. So
there you go.
Which means they've already done the hard work, and they are where they are.
Yeah.
But Chelsea are not conceding many goals. So that's.
He literally.
I know, but they haven't been. They went down to 10 men last week.
That's the first goal he'd let in under Tuchel at home. Yeah.
Moving on to Sunday, as we mentioned, Burnley got beat 2-1 by Newcastle. Jacob Murphy and St Maxim, after Vidra had put Burnley ahead 2 weeks in a row. Burnley took the lead and lost the game.
Shocking defending.
West Ham then played Leicester, and fantastic win. Jesse Lingard inspired again. Got the first, the second, and Bone got the third. And then again, it wouldn't be a West Ham game if there wasn't nerves. A few weeks ago, Arsenal 3-0 up, ends up 3-0. 3-3. Last week, Wolves 3-0 up, ended up 3-2. And this weekend, 2 late goals from Iheanacho made it 3-2. Goal in the 70th minute, goal in the 90th.
And Pereira had missed the shitter to make it 3-2 straight after he made it 3-1.
So West Ham, great at scoring goals. 3-0 is the most dangerous lead for West Ham, it appears. But West Ham, they're in 4th place.
Flying.
Point ahead of Chelsea. 3 points ahead of Liverpool, which is massive. If you're a West Ham fan right now, you'd be thinking, we're getting Europe next season.
Yeah. Winning every game. Won 3 games on the run, I think, or they've won 2 out the last 3, 7 out the last 9 points or something. They're on a great run. They don't look like slowing down at all. So unless it's a bad patch, which is they haven't done all season, then they should definitely be in Europe. No questions about it.
And definitely got a chance in their hands now for the Champions League. As I said, that game against Chelsea would be huge. Final game of Sunday, Arsenal went to Sheffield United, comfortable 3-0 win. Lacazette getting a couple, and Martinelli getting one as well. Comfortable win, which again puts them into contention. They are 3 points behind Everton, 4 points behind Spurs.
4 points behind Spurs for the European place, aren't they?
Yeah, they're still in the Europa at the moment. Got to play Slavia Prague. Second leg tomorrow.
1-1.
It's 1-1. So they're still in that at the moment, and maybe that might be not the easiest route, but the route that they can control anyway. But Mikel Arteta is still very buoyant about getting European football, because if they don't, then
he's in trouble. I think
that would be very, very bad, wouldn't it?
I think he's in trouble if they don't.
Yeah. Monday night, West Brom, as we said, beat Southampton 3-0. Pereira, Phillips and Robinson got them 3-0. Ward-Prowse missed a penalty in the last minute. That shows you how bad it was. Well, keeper saved it. That shows you how bad that day it was for Southampton.
West Brom had the most ridiculous goal.
Yeah, it is the most ridiculous goal.
VAR couldn't draw a line through a player.
Yeah, so if anyone hasn't seen this, basically what happened was the goal, the flag went up, ball came in, lad knocked it in. It's one of them that automatic, I think the linesman puts his flag up. Which I don't know. See, this is the weird thing. When people say you shouldn't put your flag up. So he puts his flag up. It goes to VAR. And even with the naked eye, to me, he looks like he's onside. Now, the problem comes from the camera they used. There's a West Brom player standing in front of him, who was the one who was offside, but the ball doesn't go to him. So the camera can't see through him. But why did he only have one camera? If it's so important, if it's the most important thing on the pitch, why is there only one? Why isn't there a camera on the other side? So he can't draw the line. But even with my naked eye, I can see the fella behind him's not offside. So what they've said is, well, the linesman put his flag up.
So you revert to the pitch.
Well, how does that work? VAR is supposed to take that away. What's he putting his flag up for? He's going, I think he's offside. He didn't look offside to me.
What's ridiculous is, well, he wasn't offside. I think they've said it. What's ridiculous is, luckily for them, West Brom won the game anyway. Now, at West Brom, even though we've just said they've got a tiny chance of getting out of it, say they'd been 0-0 and they wouldn't have won that game, the chances are they'd have been probably down. And you can't have these mistakes. We had it last year with the Sheffield United and Villa. You know, if that game ends 1-0 to Sheffield United, which it should have done, the goal was in. Villa would have gone. Yeah. You know, Grealish scored with 8 minutes left. Villa have been in the Championship now. Will Grealish still be at Villa Park? Who knows? You know, could have changed the whole thing. And, all right, it hasn't worked out this time because West Brom won the game anyway, so it didn't really matter. But you can't be having this. You can't be just going, we can't draw a line, so we can't see. No, sorry.
Nonsense.
Absolute
nonsense. But a great win for West Brom. And then obviously in the last game of the weekend, Everton travelled to Brighton and it was crap. 0-0 draw, worst game ever in the history of the world. Ever. Probably just, that's enough for Brighton now. They're probably safe. For Everton, just garbage. What else can I say? Just garbage. We've had to talk about it for a couple of days and it's just rubbish.
Yeah, it's not really much
to say.
Brighton done what Brighton do, knocked it round, looked dead pretty.
Didn't score
a goal.
Yeah. And Everton like the opposite. Didn't pass it round, don't look very pretty.
Almost won it in the last minute.
Didn't score. So obviously Manchester City 11 points clear of Manchester United. Manchester United got a game in hand. Could they? No. Obviously, they had that great win at Spurs. Great 3-1 victory. Spurs took the lead. We haven't even talked about this one. Missed this one, didn't we? What about the VAR decision in this game? Because that was just ridiculous, wasn't it?
Pathetic.
You know,
absolutely pathetic.
Cavani is a perfectly good goal disallowed.
Yeah.
They take it back. Obviously, Scott McTominay got the ball. He's in control of the ball. Son's like that. He's just moved his arm to just brush him away. Barely brushes him. Son goes down.
Play goes on.
They
score. Cavani scores a lovely goal, and then they bring it back, and the referee goes over and looks at the screen and keeps looking, and then decides it's a foul because his fingertips have touched Son's chin.
It's an unnatural movement, he said.
It's a physical...
But it's not an unnatural movement because that's what footballers do.
You're protecting, aren't you? I mean, Gaza, you should just elbow people in the face, never survived. And I know football's moved on, but you still protect.
Yeah.
Someone's pulling you, it's a free kick to you, so you've got the advantage.
Exactly, all you're doing, and this is what's been lost in football. People will make fouls on you to try and stop you. And that's what Son's trying to do. And what he's doing is just preventing himself being fouled. And that used to be looked at when we had common sense in the game as, well, he's trying to pull you. For me, that is no different from when a player gets fouled and the ref does the old advantage because you've got the ball. To me, that's where the ref should look at it and go, no, you were pulling him, and all he's doing is pushing you off. And that to me should be. That's what we've lost in football.
If he turned and went bang in his face,
absolutely.
That's a different. But he's like that. You can see he's not even looking. He's reaching to try and struggle. We complain when players go down.
Yeah.
So if someone pulls you and you throw yourself down, would you give United a free kick? No.
But this is what we've lost in football: the common sense, the ability for the referee to read the game, to be able to go, well, no, you were pulling on him, so I'm letting the game go on.
Yeah.
You know, you're both as bad. You know, we used to get it all the time. You're both as bad as each other,
Yeah,
and you'd go, well, yeah, we are, aren't we? You'd just get on with it,
get an advantage,
and you'd both go, and you go that like. I used to love it. You go, oh, I'm not going to book either of you because that defeats the purpose. You know, you both don't. You know. So,
an elbow or looking round
Yeah.
and hitting him, that's a different thing. But he didn't. He was just running. He had his head up running and he's caught him. So it's the way it is. It's a.
And then some went on and obviously got the first goal. But Man United got back into Fred with a goal. Cavani got his goal. Great centre forward.
Great ball. Great ball.
Mason Greenwood gets the winner.
Came on, yeah.
Just he's got ice in his veins, that kid. Real ice in his veins.
Excellent.
So great win for United. That to me secures their second place. Cuts the deficit down a little bit.
To 11 and a game in hand, but still City.
Be the greatest crumble ever if City didn't win it. But great win, and obviously leaves Spurs still sweating. Obviously they've got the League Cup final against Man City.
What's in their hands? They win that. They're in Europe, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Yeah. Doesn't matter what else happens in the league. If they win that, they're in Europe.
Yeah.
So
interesting. It's going to be a very interesting end to the season. We'll be here every week talking about it. So make sure you catch us. Don't forget, make sure to check out Hold the L over on the Super 6 YouTube channel. Go and check that out. As he said, get involved in the comments with the lads as well. We'll be in there as well, putting our opinions in there as well. Don't forget to give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, daily, live, exclusive videos, check out our Patreon. The link is down here and in the description. See you later.